Hello, everybody. Third day on Where Winds Meets. Today, I'm going to show you the quick progress I've made so far, and maybe I'll upload like an HSR ZZZ video later. So, I've hit level 40, right? Now, you may think I like no-life this game, but no, I hit level 40 within goddamn an hour after choosing the breakthrough, which is incredibly quick. The main reason for this being is the main quest gives you an insanely disgusting amount of XP, and I kinda just ignored the main quest and gained most of my XP till now from side exploration. So when I actually chose to do the main quest, I basically just instantly blitzed through the levels and instantly made it into level 40, right? One thing to note, and I'm not sure how many people may be aware of this, however, all the previous level breakthroughs had a 1 day cooldown, while this one has a 2 day cooldown. So you should keep in mind that it seems the cooldown for being able to break through increases the higher levels that you attain. So I would say you are fully able to take your time in this game, right? Because you are level locked, there's legit nothing you can do to bypass this, and you also gain a lot of XP from just doing side exploration, finding chests, doing other things that you shouldn't really rush it, right? The game is very, very enjoyable. Now, me personally, I'm still going to play the game a little more because I want to, get some markers for, the stone markers for teleporting so I can get more exploration. I want to get a few other martial arts, level up most of my permanent gear, right? Because in develop over here for gear, these are all permanent upgrades, right? It doesn't matter what you put in these slots. If you upgrade them, they are permanent no matter what, and I don't have some of them maxed, so that's something I want to do to be able to get a little further and get a little more martial mastery. But when it comes to like XP farming and like trying to level as quick as possible, I wouldn't recommend people play the game for that reason specifically, because as mentioned, you are level locked and there is a cooldown for a few days almost every single time, right? So take your time, do your own thing, don't rush too hard, because other people are going to be experiencing the exact same level lock as you, and there's nothing they can do about it no matter how much money they spend. Right. Now, I have learned that just now you can inflict or like put things on your weapon, right? So this is how my dual blades just look normally, and then this is when I add flame to them. So I had no clue you could do this. I genuinely had zero clue, but now I know. And the fire has like a passive burning effect on enemies when you keep hitting them consistently, which is just really cool, right? And this isn't like some special item that's hard to come across by. If you come across anything with like fire on it and you go next to it, it says like you can pick up embers or you can pick up like some tier, phoenix tier, whatever the fuck. And depending on what name it is, it'll give you more or less of this flame thingy, right? And there are other things as well. For example, for the midnight like dual blade sect that I'm in, you can also use poison, right? There's like this purple dust of poison that you can inflict on your blade, and I'm assuming that that probably has a dot effect. However, I don't have any of that poison dust, so I wasn't really able to use it in the slightest, but still really cool that you can just enhance your weapons with random things you find in the overworld, right? I'm still sticking to the spear and dual blades type of thing, right? Because I simply enjoy that. Not really any particular reason. I like the spear for longer range when people like moving too much, and I like the dual blades for when I get closer. Plus, the combination of the two allows me to do things like this. Just tab, press Q, move in a little more, do a special move, then move back to the daggers, whoops, and then just keep doing this special move, maybe like stop them with the meridian touch, and then you just Q again, and then you keep going like that, right? This game has a lot of combos from what I've seen as well that I have basically completely ignored and didn't know existed. So I'm like very much a newbie at this game, right? I'm 100% a newbie, and I'd seen someone complaining about me playing on easy mode, and I understand like there's this pretty big elitist mindset among people in these like types of games against NPC mobs of like, oh, you're not playing on one of the hardest difficulties and making it more annoying for yourself. And I understand that, right? For a lot of people, maybe the appeal is mainly going against challenging enemies. However, so far, I've just been playing this game for the exploration, leveling up as quick as possible, maxing out my gear, and as well as just the customization. Everything that doesn't have to do with like challenging myself skill wise against a bunch of NPCs, right? Not knocking anyone who does have fun doing that. I myself have fun doing that sometimes. I simply chose to play a different way on this game. I already play competitive multiplayer games. I already am super sweaty at HSR. I was already starting to get sweaty in WoWA as well when it came to WeWa. I don't need to be sweaty at everything I play, and so this is much more of a break from me constantly tryharding in those games, and it feels very refreshing for me at least. So sorry if I'm disappointing some people out there by playing on easy mode. It doesn't really matter anyways in the long run, because I do plan to eventually play the PvP in this game, and in PvP there's equalized stats, and as well you can't what's it called? You can't use the parry window, right? The parry window that gets automatically activated at lower difficulty modes, that gives you like 1 or 2 seconds to react, that is completely gone in PvP, and you need to solely rely on your own skill and timing. So in the long run, either way, I'm going to get punished for it. So don't get too mad at me, right? Once again, similar to my last Where Winds Meet video, there's so much to cover in this game, it's kinda insane. I finally joined a guild recently, and the, things you get from simply being in a guild is kinda insane. Like, one of the biggest reasons as well why I managed to go from level 30 to 40 within an hour is I actually got free XP somewhere here. Yeah, right here. Carefree Moments. I got this. Like, this gives 1600 XP. Coins, treasure tokens, wonder jades. I instantly got this. This also gave me XP. And bro, it feels like you can find XP almost everywhere in this game. It's so goddamn abundant that I recommend so many people, like, just take your time with the game, right? You really don't need to play it as much as you may think to hit level caps and, hit the level cooldown on breakthroughs. It is incredibly fucking easy, right? Game's fun. Graphics wise, it's astounding. Still one of the most impressive free-to-play games I've seen graphics wise. Its optimization I'm not too sure on. However, for me, it's not the worst. Given right now I am recording, and recording on OBS usually cuts my FPS down by half in most games, this is really impressive, right? This is genuinely very, very impressive in my opinion. The wide variety of weapons, martial arts, the way everything works, it's just so much fun, right? It genuinely is so much fun, and I couldn't ask for anything else, right? See, right here, the parry window, this is what people get mad at. It's very easy to just dodge and, ignore everything. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. I'm just trying to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I'd heavily recommend this game, as I still see people asking if, is this game good? Is it like, fake hype, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm someone who doesn't get sponsored. I've never been sponsored in the history of my channel, and so people do, hold some credibility on me and think that I may have a better opinion as compared to other CCs. And yes, I think this game is genuinely great. It's genuinely good. I have seen a few CCs saying that they don't enjoy the game too much because they expected more MMO and they didn't really get that from the game, I guess is what they said. But me personally, it's fucking amazing. And the MMO aspect, I feel like plays a part much more, or an important part later into the game once you're like hitting end game and near max level, as compared to the beginning. I think you're truly meant to take it slow at the beginning and not rush too hard and try to do raids and dungeons like instantly, right? You still can do that shit, but like you're not really incentivized to do that at all, right? So love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Let me know if you guys are playing this game, how you are enjoying it. I think this is one of the greatest free-to-play games I've ever played in my life. the amount of content there is, the amount of variety, the fact that even though it's a gacha, the gacha is basically useless and purely cosmetic. This game feels almost perfect, right? I won't say perfect because I think it has some issues with like animation sometimes, with like characters trying to talk, English dubbing, the lip sync. It has its issues. I'm not saying it doesn't. And I probably will make a video, further down the line in the game when I make it closer to the end game, and I can call out all these issues that I have with it. However, until then, I think overall, just looking at it straight, this game's an 8 out of 10. I'd give it an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10, actually, for a free-to-play game. There's just so much to do, and that's great. That's what people need, they want, and you don't need to spend a dime, right? It's not like one of those solo-player games where it's like you spend $60 or $70, and even though it's a really good experience, you're basically one-and-doneing it, right? Unless you do a bunch of new game pluses for whatever reason. That doesn't apply to this game. Not only is there like a shit ton of content story-wise and side quests and exploration and learning martial arts, upgrading your gear, but there's also a multiplayer aspect that'll probably help keep a lot of player retention. Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Peace out.